Hey, Conscious Habit listeners. My goal is to help support you on your journey of discovering how to live from your highest and most fulfilled self at home and at work. And in that vein, I have some thoughts I'd like to share with you today. So meditate on this. I've been reflecting a lot lately about how I find appreciation for the mundane. If we think about our lives, you look at your schedule, there are a lot of demands around us. And those demands can feel like burdens. Driving the kids back and forth, sitting in traffic, showing up to meetings that you don't really want to be in, and maybe you felt like they could be an email. Going to the grocery store, having to decide what we're having for dinner again for the 1 millionth time. There can be so many things on our to do list that often feel like a burden, a disruption, an inconvenience. And I have been challenging myself, and I'm going to invite you to join me to look for the blessings in the burdens. See, this life that we often take for granted is exactly the life we would be praying for if anything were to change. What I mean by that is if you are healthy and you have most of your family who is healthy, and we take that health for granted, we just don't pay attention to, like, oh, I'm so grateful that I am able to move about my life and do it relatively pain free. And if that were to change, if you were to have an injury, have to have a surgery, and now you weren't able to move through life with that same ease, all you would want is that life you took for granted back. The same with these other burdens that we're faced with. Being able to go to the grocery store, if one day we showed up and there was literally nothing for us to buy, no food, all we would want was for the options to be there. And then now, and when we take advantage of that, or that space that we're in, we might be like, "Ugh, there's so many freaking options. Can I just?" We tend to sort of complain or feel frustrated with the things that we would beg for back if it were any different. This has been my own battle, as I mentioned, that I just want to be radically grateful for all that is and make it enough. I can be so guilty of not enoughness with life around me, wishing it were more or different, or it was this instead of that, and taking for granted those mundane moments, those little burdens, forgetting to see that they are radical blessings. One of those things, now that my boys are 17 and 18 and I never have to drive them anywhere, I miss driving them. I never thought I would say that. If you are in the throes of taking kids back and forth and making 3 different dinners and life feels hectic, I miss that. I miss the moments in the car with them. I miss the conversations that we would have. I wish I would have seen more blessings in what felt like a burden. I am leaning into gratitude of, wow, I'm so grateful that I can go to the store and swipe my debit card. And even though might think that, man, groceries have gotten expensive and this is getting outrageous, I can see the blessing that I can say, take my money. I can carry the groceries out to the car. I can come home and have a safe place to cook a meal for my family. This isn't meant to sound preachy. I hope that's not what's coming across here. I hope it's for you an invitation as much as it is for me to just stay in that space of gratitude, stay present with all the good that is, lean into the things that we may be taking for granted because they're exactly the things we would pray for if any of this changed at all. Join me in finding the blessings. Even if at times it feels like a burden, is there a space of graciousness that we can hold for all the we get tos that come along with the demands?